Hello everybody, and welcome to this short video to explain the use of OneFile. So first off, welcome to your apprenticeship. If you've only just started, and if you just want a bit of a recap about how to use it, then I hope everything is going well. So first off, if you go to OneFile login, go to any browser page and put in onefile.com, and it will come up with the login page. You need to put in your username and password. You will have been given this by by channel training when you were first inducted. I've obviously got quite a lot of profiles, but I'm going to click on this one to show you our Spoof Learner Charlotte training. So when you log in to your OneFile account, you will come up with a starter page like this. And one of the very first tasks it might ask you to do is to change your profile. So in terms of tasks, you can see that they are either shown here. So Charlotte has got 3 tasks pending at the moment, or otherwise down on this menu on this side, 3 tasks pending. Doesn't really matter where you go to start your tasks. But as I said, one of those tasks when you first log in will be update your profile. So the profile is going to be this bit here where you can upload yourself a picture. You can put in your details of your contact details. Another thing that's quite important is it will ask you to verify your email. So if you can verify that as your first job, and also maybe tick send me an email alert every time something happens, because that means that when a new task comes up or a review comes up or a message comes up, it will link to your personal email, and therefore you'll know that you've got something to do in OneFile. Keeps us all in touch, which would be great. So that's changing your profile. This, either here or here. If you go to home, you are always going to go back to that portfolio dashboard, which is quite handy because it tells you the learning aims that you're aiming to do. Everyone needs to or have evidence of functional skills, maths and English. Charlotte Training is actually working towards activity instructor apprenticeship. Everyone goes through a gateway, and then there'll be the actual endpoint assessment or apprenticeship assessment to finish off. And then there's a little summary. You can see that Charlotte, who's been doing her apprenticeship for a while, is on 67%, so she's getting there. But she does have 3 tasks to do. So let's have a little look at how we can find out about those tasks. Like I said, you can go to this menu here or here, and it will tell you the tasks that you have got to do. Some of the tasks are written tasks, so these will get you evidence and help you with the knowledge criteria of your apprenticeship. The instructions for that task are in this box here, so if you have a little read of what it asks you to do, that will mean that you're completely happy with what you need to do for this task. And on written tasks, there will be a question with a box, followed by, on this side, some information to tell you which criteria it is that you're trying to hit. So you can see here, I have started writing this answer, but I'm writing in gobbledygook just for speed. So I write some answers in my boxes. And then it might be that I haven't got time, or I need to find some more information and I'm not ready to finish this task. So all I need to do is don't click finish, but click save and quit. And it will say it's not been signed. Are you sure you want to leave? And you're going to click OK. And that means you can come back to it at any time, but it is quite important to save it because you don't want to lose your work. Another option could be that you write your answers in Word, so it can do all the nice spell checking for you, and then upload those answers. As you can see, so that task still exists here because I haven't finished it. So let's go back to it. So I'm going to, this time on was written question 10. So I'm going to click on that task. I want to do that. So I'm going to carry on writing in my answers here and making sure that I am fulfilling all of the criteria points that it says here. And then, for example, if I have finished this piece of work, I am then going to go down to the bottom, and actually, because this is off the job training, because I've been learning something, learning about knowledge that I would need to do my job, but I haven't actually been doing the job, it counts as off the job. So you can write however long it took me. You can be precise if you want to do that task, click off the job. And on this occasion, I am going to click that I have completed that task before I do save and quit. And so now you can see that task has gone away. So I've done a task. So that was a written question task. Sorry. Another sort of task that you might be asked to do is a work product task. So this one is asking you, rather than getting some knowledge together by doing some written questions that probably help for your professional discussion or your answer question sessions, it's going to ask you to maybe get some other sorts of evidence, some work product evidence. So this task is set up with a instruction sheet. So I'm going to click on that instruction sheet and then download, and then that will be in your downloads to open up and follow the instructions. And this is going to ask me to do a Word document and get some evidence that I can then upload to this task. So once I've done that, I might want to reattach that Word document. So I'm going to, sorry if that was a bit quick. Let's go back. Let's go back one. So I'm going to select files that have gone into my downloaded area. I'm going to open that up, and then it's going to upload that particular piece of evidence. So as before, I want to make sure that I save that, and then I have got that piece of evidence, which is going to be attached to that task. Let's go back to that task. So now you can see that I have attached my evidence. So it might be that you're attaching a bit of video, or you're attaching some photos, or you're attaching a certificate. And therefore I've done whatever I've been asked to do, and I'm going to sign that off, save and quit. And oh, hold on. Oh, if you don't do something, it's quite handy in OneFile because it'll tell you that you haven't done it. It was off the job training, and I didn't say how long it took me to do. So it will give me a reminder. So now I can save and quit. And now I've only got one task. So Charlotte is clearing the tasks and keeping on top of her deadlines, which is marvelous. So that's the completion of tasks. If we click on this portfolio bit, just does the information in a slightly different format. Like I said, these are the elements of the apprenticeship that need completing. I can see I'm on 67%. I've added in some more off the job, so that's why that little green arrow is calculating the new stuff that I have just done. It also tells me that my last off the job activity was today, and that should say, you know, sort of every 7 days, pretty much you should be doing some off the job, definitely every month. If you just wanted to upload some evidence that was extra, wasn't associated to a task, you've got this tab here that says assessment evidence. And just as we did before, I would select files, go to my download area, and maybe add in the evidence that I wanted to put in. So like I said, it could be a video, could be a photograph, could be a certificate. So you can see here that Charlotte's uploaded her first aid certificate and some meeting minutes and a video. So that's adding of evidence. It's really important that you do some nice labeling so that it's really clear what that piece of evidence is that you've loaded up. That would be handy. So next, let's go back to that portfolio. There we go. And let's see what else we've got in here. So either on these portfolio tabs, or you can see them down here. Another tab that is going to be quite useful is this learning journal. So as I said, sort of at least weekly, definitely monthly, you should be putting in a reflection, because we're all reflective practitioners, and we're going to reflect on some off-the-job training that we've been doing. So for example, Charlotte here has reflected on a bit of shadowing that she's been doing, and wrote a nice little write-up of what she learnt, and then clicked on the next tab over, which says timesheets. And because she was shadowing somebody else to find out how to do her job better, so she was learning some skills to improve her job, she wasn't actually doing the job, it counts as off the job training, and that was 2 hours of off the job training, so she's added that in as well. So that's adding a learning journal. The next thing down on this tab is a scorecard. Now, if you've had your induction, you will have all been asked to do a scorecard so that we can see your baseline of how you think you are in terms of all of the skills, knowledge and behaviour criteria for the apprenticeship. And then we ask you to do a scorecard each time you're getting ready for a review. So every 12 weeks, we'll ask you to do a new scorecard. So you are going to click on the new, click on the drop down, and then have a reflection of yourself. Think about, how am I now feeling about collating information about participants? Has that improved? It could be that it's got worse because you've had a bit of skill fade and you don't remember it so well. So I'm actually going to say that I've got a bit better about that. So I'm going to go to 7. So it is a personal opinion. It then comes up with the next criteria, approved options for adapting sessions. I haven't done very much on the session, so although I was quite confident when I first started, or Charlotte was quite confident, I feel that's actually got a bit worse. But this is really quite handy because it helps your tutor understand where your gaps in your knowledge are and what you need help with, and they can maybe signpost you to get some more information to help you with that. So that's particularly helpful to do just prior to a review. So that's scorecards. We did mention messages, so this is just an emailing system, and you will get various emails from me or your tutor, and you can answer them. It might be messages about webinars that are coming up that you can see whether you are able to attend and how to get into the links to attend one of those value-added webinars. So that's your messages, which again is up here or down this one. Courses. So we have a whole load of courses for your enjoyment here. Some of them are mandatory. So for example, the Prevent course you will have probably done on your induction or shortly afterwards, and that is a compulsory course that everybody has to do. But then there are all sorts of courses that are going to help you through your apprenticeship in all sorts of ways. So just a generic sort of thing about how to deal with customers, or what else have we got on here? Equality and diversity, using inclusive language. But then there's also more generic things for when you might be leaving your apprenticeship and thinking about your next steps. So there are courses here about how to succeed in an interview, how to land your next job. So there is a huge number of courses on there that some might be more relevant to you or less relevant to you, but if you have got some spare moments, it would mean that you have got more strings to your bow to help you in your next steps. Or otherwise your tutor might signpost you to something. So for example, particularly now we're getting into the warmer weather, you know, knowing about how to protect people in your charge from the sun might be something that would be helpful for you, and a tutor might signpost that to you. So that's courses. And I think we're pretty much there now. The last thing to have a little look at is resources. So this tab is really helpful. Say you're writing your written questions, I'm really stuck, I don't know where to go with this. How can I get myself some help? First port of call probably is going to be this resources tab. So there are all sorts of bits of information in here that are going to help. And in your particular standard, if you click on this one that says index of resources, so in each standard there's one that says index of, it'll tell you what's in this area of OneFile. So if you're stuck with finding what you're trying to find in the resources tab, that's like a little index of everything. But you know, how to do off the job, how to write a learning journal, how to do your scorecard. So there's lots of generic things in here. There is also, if this isn't helping, there is a OneFile induction guide, so that might help you too. But then there's also, if you go on the up arrow, you can go up a stage or down a stage. There are also, for example, those value-added webinars that we deliver. If you weren't able to catch it, it's best if you're there in person, because you get the full interactive experience. But if you're not able to, then the recordings will be here for you to find to listen back to. So I hope that has been useful. I know that was quite a lot of information. Do get in touch with one of us or your tutor and ask for more help if you're getting stuck with OneFile in any way. Enjoy.